When an empire begins to fall, the sound it makes isn't a roar, it's silence. The kind of silence that fills the corridors of the Kremlin at night, where men who once ruled the world now whisper in fear. For decades, Vladimir Putin's regime looked invincible. His generals claimed loyalty. His oligarchs built towers of gold, his propagandists spoke of destiny. But now behind those marble walls, the same men are preparing their escape. The illusion of control has shattered. The truth is simple. Russia's most powerful no longer believe in victory. They no longer believe in Putin. And worse, they no longer believe in Russia itself. Across Moscow's government compounds and luxury offices, secret operations are underway. The great retreat of the Russian elite. Files are being shredded. Assets are being transferred. Family members are quietly flown out on private jets. The war in Ukraine was supposed to secure Putin's empire. Instead, it exposed its rot. Russia's elite understand what Putin refuses to see. The empire is bleeding to death, not from the outside, but from within. The men running this evacuation are not journalists or activists. They're the same people who once called for war. Senior generals from the Ministry of Defense, executives from state oil companies, even top figures within the FSB. They are all drawing up personal contingency plans. In those plans are escape routes, offshore bank transfers, second passports, and connections to lawyers in foreign capitals. Every plan is written with the same goal. When the collapse comes, I must survive it. The world is closing in on them, yet 3 escape corridors remain open. The first leads to Dubai, the new capital of Russia's invisible empire. When sanctions locked Moscow out of the West, the UAE offered an open door. Russian jets began landing daily, carrying oligarchs, generals' families, and couriers loaded with gold and diamonds. Dubai became what Switzerland once was, a sanctuary for money too dirty to stay home. Its banks don't ask questions, its laws move slowly, and its politics are neutral enough to make fugitives feel safe. Luxury towers along the marina now house exiled billionaires and their guards. Many of them claim to still serve Russia. But in reality, they've already abandoned it. The second route runs far further, across oceans, into the quiet jungles and cities of Latin America. Argentina and Paraguay are once again becoming sanctuaries for the powerful defeated. Argentina offers an investment visa that can be purchased with a few $1 million. Paraguay offers something even simpler: bureaucratic chaos. With the right lawyer, a Russian official can become a Paraguayan citizen within months. There, no one asks about war crimes or sanctions. There, money buys silence. These countries have always been the graveyards of fallen empires. After World War II, Nazi officers disappeared into their mountains. Now, men from Moscow are following the same path, blending into the same shadows. The third and most dangerous path is east, toward Hong Kong. To outsiders, it makes little sense. Why would Russia's elite flee one authoritarian system only to place their fate in another? But for those in Putin's circle, this is not about freedom. It's about betting on the next superpower. By moving billions through Chinese-controlled investment networks in Hong Kong, Russia's elite are buying a kind of protection that only Beijing can offer. These aren't traditional investments, they're offerings. A message to China that says, when Putin falls, we'll serve your interests instead. The process is sophisticated, a global choreography of corruption. Money leaves Moscow disguised as trade payments. It flows into crypto exchanges inside Russia, where it's converted into privacy coins like Monero and split into thousands of microtransactions. From there, it passes through mixers that erase the trail before being reconverted into dollars in offshore accounts. Gold, too, leaves Russia, not by bank wire, but by plane. Tons of it are flown out in diplomatic bags to the UAE, Qatar, or Turkey. Once there, it's melted, rebranded, and resold as international reserves. All of this happens while the ordinary Russian struggles to buy bread. The irony is brutal. The generals who once claimed they would defend Russia from NATO now use NATO's financial systems to hide their own money. They talk about sacrifice while preparing to abandon their soldiers. On the front lines, the troops sense it. Morale is collapsing faster than the economy. Units are under-equipped, unpaid, and leaderless. Commanders falsify reports to protect themselves. Ammunition disappears into the black market. Vehicles are sold for spare parts. Every decision made by the military elite now serves one purpose: to delay Judgment Day long enough for their own escape. It's no longer about victory. It's about survival. The paralysis is complete. Generals refuse to authorize offensives that might fail. No one takes initiative. Every risk is a potential career death sentence. The army isn't fighting for Russia anymore. It's fighting for time. And time is running out. Inside the Kremlin, Putin feels it too. His intelligence reports show the truth. Loyalty is collapsing. Every day, he receives new lists of suspect officials, new names of those moving assets abroad. He knows that the walls are closing in. But he can't move. He could order mass arrests. He could purge the generals and oligarchs in a storm of fear, just as Stalin did. But to do so would destroy the fragile machinery keeping his regime alive. Arrest the generals and the front collapses. Arrest the oligarchs and the economy implodes. Purge the FSB and the last vestige of control vanishes. Putin has built a system that cannot function without corruption, and now that corruption is eating it alive. Meanwhile, Western intelligence agencies are watching and waiting. In Dubai, Hong Kong, and Cyprus, quiet offers are being made to Russia's desperate elite. The deals are simple: trade secrets for safety, hand over documents, leak financial data, reveal Putin's networks, and walk free. The West has found a weapon sharper than any missile: Russia's own cowardice. Even now, there are reports of senior officers within the military and state banks secretly cooperating with Western channels. Some provide information on troop movements, others sell data about sanctions evasion. The Kremlin's own system of greed has turned into the perfect intelligence pipeline. Every day, Putin's empire leaks from within. Meanwhile, the machine that kept the illusion alive, Russia's propaganda network, is also breaking down. For 20 years, it built a myth. Russia was strong, Putin was eternal, and the West was weak. But that myth has shattered under the weight of reality. Behind the cameras, even the loudest propagandists are making exit plans. Some have purchased homes in Turkey, others in Cyprus or Serbia. They know what's coming. The lies no longer work, not even on themselves. The myth of the mighty Russia has collapsed into a simple truth. The country is run by men who believe in nothing but survival. Putin's great social contract, obedience for stability, is dead. The Russian people see no stability, only decay. Inflation has eaten their salaries, the ruble is near worthless, factories close every month. And their leaders? They're wiring billions to Dubai. This isn't patriotism, it's looting. Russia today isn't one nation, it's a collection of fiefdoms, each loyal only to itself. Generals treat divisions like personal armies. Governors act like medieval lords. The state's unity is gone. Even within Putin's inner circle, alliances crumble daily. Every handshake hides betrayal. Every word of loyalty is rehearsed for survival. This isn't governance, it's mutual blackmail disguised as leadership. Putin now stands at the center of this rotting web, isolated, paranoid, and surrounded by men who would sell him out tomorrow. He created a system where loyalty is bought, not earned, and when the money runs out, so does the loyalty. In private meetings, Putin still pretends control. He talks of victory, of strength, of destiny. But the generals seated before him no longer listen. They nod, take notes, salute, then walk out and check their offshore accounts. They are already gone in their minds. What remains of Putin's Russia is a hollow shell, an empire of fear with no believers left inside it. When the collapse comes, it won't look like a revolution. It will look like abandonment. Planes leaving Moscow in the night, ministers vanishing from public view, bank accounts frozen, silence on the news. That's how empires end, not with an explosion, but with a quiet flight into exile. And when it happens, the same men who once shouted for Russia will whisper a single word to their pilots: faster. Because deep down, they know the truth. You can't save a system built on lies. You can only escape before it falls on top of you, and that is exactly what they're doing. Before you go, remember, we're completely independent. No big networks, no sponsors, and no government influence. In a world full of corruption and scripted news, your support keeps real journalism alive. So please like, share, and subscribe. It truly helps.